What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I have an eye makeup tutorial for you. I feel like I've been doing so many swatch reviews on my channel, so I thought I would give you guys and your wallets a quick little break and we could do some what I think is like very fall Thanksgiving-y eye makeup. So this is something that I've actually worn in a few of my recent swatch and review videos. You guys seem to like it. Personally, I love how it turned out. I'm not a huge fan of the inner corner, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, this was basically a very easy look that I did using the new Colourpop Ornate palette. You don't have to use that particular palette, just whatever colors works for you, but yeah, it's a nice little halo eye, so it's bright in the center, and then we've got a little bit of darkness on the outer corner. So let me show you how I did it. So generally I skip showing you guys this part in my makeup videos, but a lot of you guys have been asking how I prime my eyes. As you can see, I have a ton of freckles naturally, and even my eyelids are not particularly even, so instead of using a primer on my eyes, I actually use my concealer, and I pick one that is the same color as my skin. I'm just using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and then I just set that with a face powder and a big fluffy brush. So once I've got that base on and it's not sticky or tacky or anything because I have that powder over it, I will start to go in with my colors. So like I said, I'm using the Ornate palette, and I'm gonna go in with this bright yellowy gold matte shade, and I'm going to use this as a base for the entire look. So generally I always like to start on the outer corner working in circular motions and then just kind of build it up, but then I remembered that I'm going to be doing a halo eye, so I kind of want to cover up my whole eye. I feel like this is how 90% of my tutorials start, like me starting on the outer corner and then being like, you know what, I'm just going to put it all over my eye. So yeah, this is probably the part that takes me the longest, just because I try really hard to blend that first color as well as I can into my actual skin color, and I always try to pick a color that would seamlessly kind of blend in, and it really does take some time. That's one thing that I feel like nobody ever talks about on YouTube, but it really does take a super long time to blend out all the colors and make it look good. And honestly, I feel like I could even be blending more. But yeah, so once I've got all that down, I'm gonna go in with this kind of like salmon color, and I'm gonna use this shade to start to build out the outer and inner corner with some of those darker shades, and eventually it's gonna be like a nice reddish tone. So like I said, you don't have to use this particular palette, but I do love this color scheme in particular because it does feel like very much fall. This is definitely a look that I could wear for Thanksgiving if I were going anywhere for Thanksgiving, which I'm not, but yeah, I hope you guys find it useful too. But yeah, just kind of building that out, and I'm using a kind of stiff brush here. I probably should have gone in with something a little fluffier, but I always struggle with that inner corner and kind of just blowing out the color a little bit too much, so I thought it would be better safe than sorry, and I just went in with this more thin one. And then I'm just gonna blend that out with my big fluffy brush that I used with the yellow. You're gonna see me going back and forth a lot in this video because that is the easiest way to blend. So just kind of hopping back and forth between these two brushes, and then once I add more color, I'm gonna be going back and forth between all of the brushes that I've used so far, but you'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, so just kind of building that up on the outer and inner corner and not fully connecting them in the center, but kind of arching over in my crease a little bit, if that makes sense. So it's not two lines of pink on the outside and then one line of yellow on the inside. We want to make it like a nice seamless blend. So now I'm just going in with this darker kind of maroon shade, and I'm doing the same thing. This is an even stiffer brush, so I'm just going to be kind of popping that on the outer and inner corners, and I'm not going to be blending it out as much into the yellow. I'm kind of blending that color out into the salmony pink color, and it's just gonna start to get like a smaller surface area, and it's also gonna get a little bit more blended out. I'm doing a terrible job explaining this today. I don't know what's going on with me. But yeah, hopefully the visuals will help you a little bit. You know what? I'm just gonna be quiet for a couple of seconds and then we'll move on to the next step. So I really loved where I was going with this and all that blending out, but I did feel like I was missing a little bit of sparkle. So I took this really beautiful gold Super Shock shadow from Colourpop. I'll just link it in the description along with everything else that I'm using, but I just thought it would kind of add a little bit of fun and brightness to this. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I feel like I could totally pull this off for like the holidays too. But yeah, I thought it just added a little bit of extra dimension to the look, and it also made that center yellow stand out more because now it's just a little bit sparkly and prettier. And then just to make sure that I'm not letting that sparkle go too far into the pinky parts, I'm just kind of blending that out again with the brush and kind of pushing any sparkle towards the center and off of the reddish parts of my lid. And then once again, just cycling between all the brushes, kind of deepening that area and just blending it out. So next I'm going to take an even smaller brush and the sparkly black shade from the palette. I forgot to show it in my video, I don't know why, but yeah, you can really use any black. I don't think it really had any benefit to having that sparkle in there, so really any black matte shade would do, but I'm just kind of adding in that color on the inner and outer corners and really just focusing it on like the tiniest outer corner, not everywhere that I had the red, just like the very outer edge. And then I'm going to go over that with the different reds that I've used so far because I don't want it to be like a stark black on my eyes. I just wanted to kind of deepen that color. So when I do that, one thing I love to do that you see me do probably a lot in my videos is I will apply black shadow onto my eye and then I will cover it up with the other color that I'm using because that kind of just makes it look like a deeper version of whatever the other color is. So I thought that the brush that I was using was a little bit too stiff, so I ended up switching out to another one, but honestly I felt like that was kind of pulling away some of the reddish color that I had too. So, you know, it doesn't always turn out perfect. You kind of just have to keep on going and trust the process and hope that eventually you have something that doesn't look like you got punched in the eye. And sometimes it does look like that anyway, and that's totally fine too, because you can rock a punched looking eye. I mean, I feel like I do a lot. So I'm actually going to be applying my foundation off camera, and then I'm going in with this red pencil liner and I'm putting that on the outer and inner corners of my lower lash line in my waterline, and then I'm taking a gold and I'm putting that in the center. And as you can see, I'm kind of stabbing my eye a little bit. It's totally fine. I'm just gonna cry it out. And then I'm going to use a black on the top, and that just helps. I feel like when I use a wing and some false lashes, it just kind of makes that look a little bit less like there's a space. I don't know how to explain that, but I do like generally putting black in the tight line upper area there. And then I'm just gonna follow basically the same way that I did on the top of my eye on the bottom in a little bit more of a concentrated path, add a tiny bit of that sparkle, and then I am going in with my winged liner. And let me tell you, you guys always tell me in my eye makeup videos that I do such a great job with my winged liner, but I feel like the pressure has gotten to me because I totally messed this one up and it does not look good at all. But that is the beauty of giant false lashes. You really can't tell when there's a terrible winged liner line, and it kind of just saves the look. But I don't like using ones that cover up the actual eyeshadow. I like ones that kind of make the wing look a little bit better. So yeah, that is the final look. I did off camera add a little bit of highlight in my inner corner, and I really thought that it was going to be like a soft champagne, but now I can see that it is very much a bright silvery highlight, and I really should use a gold highlight for that inner corner because this really does not match here. So if you do decide to do this at home, use a gold highlight. You will look better. But overall, honestly, I really love how this turned out. I haven't done a halo eye makeup look in so long, so I was really happy to just kind of sit down and take a bunch of time to blend out some eyeshadow and have it look really cool. And I actually think this palette is really great. I've done the same colors but in just like my regular smoky eye format too, and I loved it. So yeah, I guess that's it. If you guys want any more makeup videos, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you for some more swatches and nail art. Bye!